And okay, so why don't y'all just tell me like your initial reaction? What did y'all do after it was announced? And yeah, how do y'all feeling right now?
So I think me and Abbie did the same thing. We both cried, and which is crazy because I usually do not cry, and well, I don't cry a lot in general, but definitely not in public. So I just ran out the room. I had to leave the room. I just had to because I was just filled with joy. It was close. It was a very close margin in the first round, and if nothing else was proof today, is that every single vote matters. Every single vote mattered, and so that's why I was just so overwhelmed because we won it. Like we won after all that hard work and all the stress from like the past few weeks and all the turmoil and things like that. It came out and we were the victor, and I'm so happy.
Yeah, I will say Javin left me. As soon as the vote was announced, he disappeared. I was in tears even before it was announced. Just this whole process has been so amazing to be a part of. But yes, as Javin said, every single vote counts, and that was so evident today. And we are just, I'm both so overwhelmed. It hasn't really hit me yet. I have not fully grasped that we are the next leaders of LSU.
What do you think the most successful part of your campaign was? What do y'all think y'all did the best?
I think the thing we did the best was just be genuine. Like honestly speaking, I think the thing that our ticket, and our staff as a whole showed to the student body is that we genuinely care and we genuinely do things. We're genuinely running off the work we've already done. We had a very experienced ticket in student government in NAACP and ambassadors and different organizations in Greek life across campus, and that really showed. These kids have been genuinely fighting for the student body since they first got here. And Abbie Grace and I have been doing the same. And so I think that's the thing we did the best is honestly just be genuine and like show that we really do care about each and every student's voice, that we're here genuinely just to fight for everybody, but not only fight for, but fight with everybody, and just amplify voices. So I think that's the thing we did the best is just be genuine and true to ourselves and our core values as a whole. You want to say anything, Abbie Grace?
I think I would add that the diversity on our ticket was a huge factor because I think we've all realized that a lot of groups are often left out of this discussion of student government, and so our ability to reach out to different parts of campus and have those people just even learn about our ticket was super, super impactful. I know TJ Smith tweeted, and he was like, this was the only campaign that ever reached out about in PHC. And so I think that was just our reach across campus and including those students in the discussion was super impactful. And I think it is one of the reasons that we were able to claim this victory.
So what do you think the first steps of your campaign are going to be? And then going off, or not your campaign, your office, and then going off of that, how are you going to form your executive staff?
Yeah, so that would essentially be the first thing we do. It's going to be the executive staff. We ran on one of our promises being to diversify student government, more diversify it. So our ticket members, a majority of our ticket members did win. A majority of our ticket members that ran for Senate or College Council were people of color. And so that is already done, in the sense of College Council and Senate. For executive staff, we're going to be reaching out to all the diverse groups on campus just to make sure that they at least know about it. Because we do want, like I said, that's one of the promises we made was to diversify student government even more than it has been in the past. And so that's going to be one of the first things we do. Of course, we're going to have to, the fight for sexual assault has not ended. It's nowhere near ending. That's going to be a continuous fight. So we're going to be addressing that and getting our feet, I guess, wet in a sense, because Abbie Grace has already gotten her feet wet, but I'll be joining those meetings now as well. And so I'm really excited to get on the forefront of that and tackling that because that's been the thing that kind of killed our campus this semester, kind of killed the morale of our campus, just really it hurt our campus. And so we're going to have to get on that automatically, right off the back. I'm going to be going for the board of supervisors because I feel that this year, with everything going on with sexual assault, it's going to be important to be on the board of supervisors to get this fixed rather than the board of regents. So that's what I think. Abbie Grace?
Yeah, I would say to add on to what we plan to do with our executive staff is make a lot of positions more specific so that people in our executive staff have a specific role of what they are going to do and are not just questioning maybe what they should do. Everyone will have a very specific role to fulfill and that we will keep them accountable for. And then especially like he said with sexual assault, that's something I have been fighting for this entire past year, and that is something that we are continuing to hold our administration accountable for, as we saw today at the state legislature. It's obviously an issue that is continuing to expand, and that is something that we have to hold not only our administration, not only our Board of Supervisors, but the entire state legislature accountable for, because it is something that affects every single person on this campus, and it is something that we continually have to fight for, or else nothing is going to change.
So y'all won in the first round of the election with about 50% of the votes. Congratulations on that, by the way. But what do y'all have to say to those other 50% of voters that necessarily didn't vote for you? What do y'all have to say to them?
So I would say, well, since it was ranked choice, you could have possibly listed a second. So I appreciate that if any of y'all did list a second. But to the other 50% of the student body, I want you to know that we do not see politics inside of student government. Student government is for the students, and it's for each and every student. There is no working across the aisle because we're all fighting in the same aisle, essentially. And so Abbie Grace and I are your student body president and vice president. This is my co-president, so we're your co-presidents. So do not be afraid to reach out to us. Do not be afraid to ever just talk to us, because we're here to serve each and every one of you. And if you didn't just outright support us, we do not hold it against you. Please, if you ran on another ticket or support another ticket, please apply for executive staff. We would love to have you in student government, executive staff, or J branch, or if there's any vacancies, please apply for those vacancies. We would love to have you in student government, because it is for all the students of this campus. So that's what I would say to you. Want to add anything?
I would say that I appreciate everyone who supported another ticket, maybe, because what is important about this process is its values and democracy, and the fact that at the end of the day, we still want to know what your values are, what your issues are that you face on this campus, and we appreciate all of those values that may not necessarily align with ours. I believe that we ran a good, solid, genuine campaign, but you may believe differently. And so at the end of the day, whatever you believe, we would like to hear it. Javin and I have always been very open people. We would love to hear any concerns, any problems, any issues that you have with LSU, because that is the only way we are going to grow. If we come together at the end of the day, it's not good enough for Javin and I to just continue along this path that our ticket has made. Now that we are the student body president and vice president, it needs to be a full, complete collaboration across campus in order to better this university.
Your ticket, and as well the other two tickets, ran on a lot of topics concerning Greek life. What do y'all have to say regarding the recent Kappa Sigma suspension from campus? And just looking further, what do y'all have to say regarding that kind of stuff?
I would just point out that the Kappa Sigma suspension is not necessarily recent. That's something that there was a recent article posted about it, but they have been suspended for a while now. One thing that Javin and I have ran on is that the issues of hazing and racism and sexual assault within Greek life will absolutely not be tolerated within our administration. Absolutely not. We will have a no tolerance policy. I am currently sitting on the PHC's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Board, which we hope to essentially ban or get rid of the legacy system that infiltrates Greek life in order to give an even playing field for all people who wish to join Greek life. But I guess I was saying, Javin and we have a very no tolerance policy for hazing and racism of any kind to infiltrate Greek life, because that is not, at the end of the day, what we strive to represent, and that is not what we should represent on this campus.
And then I would just also add on that me and Abbie Grace, we had sat down and we had saw this plan that University of South Carolina did. It was this kind of point system in a way, and essentially it rewards the high performing Greek organizations. It's like a point system, like a reward system in a sense, and we want to implement that across the board, because we see stuff in the news and we automatically think, wow, Greek life is bad, when a lot of these sororities and fraternities do great work for philanthropic work. They do great philanthropy across the board, and I think it's important to highlight the good as well, because sometimes we get stuck in the bad, because the bad is juicy, it's gossip, it's oh my God, look what they did now, but they also raise so much money for organizations that really need it, and so through that reward system, or that priority, that point system in a sense, it would highlight the organizations and what they're doing good and well, because like I said, we can't keep we can't keep having these everything bad we do. It gets like burst, like that's across the board. Student government, Greek life. It's like whenever we do something bad, it's like that is blurted out. But whenever something good is happening, we don't see it. And so that's what we want to do with the Greeks. Like with their like kind of with their point system is like show like these awesome performing organizations down the road, because each sorority and fraternity has some kind of philanthropy that they do, and it's very special to them, and they raise so much money with their philanthropies. And like I'm always amazed by how much money they raise in like one day or like one night. And so that's what I would say also, like Abbie said, we will not tolerate hazing.
It'll encourage. Oh, sorry. I'd say it'll encourage other fraternities and sororities to live up to that standard, and then fully be a part of Greek life in that sense, because they will have role models or a standard to live up to, and then be able to involve themselves in everything that Greek life does, which is our goal.
Very cool. Well, I just want to congratulate y'all again on running such an awesome campaign, and thank y'all for taking the time out, and we look forward to working y'all in the future.
Thank you so much.
All right. That's all I got.